All buses have been cancelled for today. Clearly, there is no other way to get home other than walking or driving yourself. You weigh up your options and you decide that instead of walking, you're going to drive because of all of the shopping that you now have. You slowly trudge your way back through the frozen tundra. You pass a group of protesters who are slipping and almost falling as they make their way to the main gathering point. The one thing you notice about them is that they're all smiling, they're all happy. Even though this weather is extremely disruptive to them, you would have thought that this weather would have brought their spirits down, or at least convinced them to protest a different day. But no, here they are. This protest really means something to them. They are willing to freeze to fight for what they believe in. You pass many shop windows and you can see the condensation forming on the inside of the window due to the sheer coldness of the outside. You eventually arrive at the car park and make your way to your car. After unloading your shopping into the boot, you jump into the driver's seat and switch on the car, using your windscreen wipers to wipe away the snow that has formed on your windscreen. After a few attempts, you manage to get your car out of the car park and you join the road very carefully and very slowly, following the traffic in front of you. As you drive, you look around and you are amazed at the amount of snow and ice that has formed in such a short period of time. The heavy snow making it extremely hard to see the brake lights of the person in front of you. This weather is the strangest weather that you have ever encountered. Snow in July. Nevertheless, you drive on slowly and you pass the street that was blocked off this morning due to the floods. The police officer still standing there like a statue, but this time in the freezing cold. You feel bad for the police officer, but your attention is brought back to the road when you see a flash of red in front of you. You slam on the brakes and your wheels slide on the ice. Coming to a stop, there is but an inch of space between you and the car in front. The traffic slowly pulls off and you follow, paying more attention this time. At last, you turn the final corner and arrive at your road. You manage to roll your car up to your house. However, you look at your icy and snowy driveway and you decide to not challenge it today. You cut off the engine and sit in your car thinking about what you bought when you were at the shop. You decide what you're going to do to get warm when you get inside. Are you going to burn the coal, or are you going to burn both the coal and the wood that you bought today? So once again, same protocol. Very bizarre part of the story. We're going to burn both of them because we're cold. Let's go. Ending number 7. Right, you can see that this page is a little bit different. It has only got one option, which is the next page, meaning we've come to the end of this story. So that's just the next page button right there. And we have an audio like before, but it's a lot shorter than the other one. So let's click on it and see. Stepping through your front door, you shake off the wet that is on your clothes, and you kick off the snow that is left on your shoes. You wander through your house to the living room, and you walk over to the fireplace, throwing paper and kindling into the fireplace and lighting it, letting it warm up. As the fireplace warms up, you have a shower to warm yourself up. After your shower, you walk back to the fireplace, throwing on some coal and some logs. The logs and coal start to catch, and the room heats up extremely quickly. You sink into your armchair, enjoying the warmth, but then you feel your eyes start to close. You begin to drift off into a sleep, and you are given visions of the future. In the beginning, you see communities being friendly with one another. Everyone is harmonious, and everything seems perfect, until you realize that the buildings are slightly changing colour. A dark black mist descends onto the world. The pollution has become entirely visible. You look around at the people passing by, laughing and talking amongst themselves, oblivious to the dark mist, oblivious to the pollution, not seeing the ever-growing dangers that the world is developing. Either they don't notice, or they don't care. You see the sea rising, the ice caps melting, earthquakes and hurricanes being more frequent on a global scale. You see that the world is turning black and brittle and crumbles under your feet. You lose your footing and you fall. You see the earth pass by as you fall. The mistakes of society pass you. The causes of the end of the world, and you fall further and further and further until it becomes hard to breathe. And in the end, it all turns black. The world has ended, and we are the cause.
So that's the ending number 7. Surprise! It's all about environmentalism. So, yeah, so as you can see, we have a next page button right here. If we click it, we can go to the final page. Every ending leads to this page, and it's just, final page, and we have the epilogue here. Basically, saying thank you, etc., etc. But we'll give it a go.
Welcome to the end of this interactive game. I do hope you enjoyed it. Did you get an ending that you were expecting, or did it surprise you? Did you choose the answers that you would have chosen in those situations, or did your curiosity encourage you along a different path? Nevertheless, you've made it. There could still be some opinions and truths that you have not heard throughout this game. There are 7 endings in total after all. Would you come to a different conclusion if you played again, knowing what you do now? All of these questions can only be answered by you and your choices.
So that's the game. So here we have the home button, so you can always go back to the beginning and start again. Go to different parts of the story that you might have missed. There are 7 endings in total, after all. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to show a timeline of, basically what the actual map looks like. So here is the timeline. As you can see, there are many, many different pathways you can take. You can either go straight up and straight down, or you can go one up and loads down, or one down and loads up, or you can kind of zigzag and get to the middle. There are so many different pathways you can take in this game. And here's an extra piece of footage to show just how many pages there are on the website. As you can see, there's quite a lot. I think there's about 28 in total, or 27. But there's quite a few. Anyway, thank you for listening to my presentation. And as you notice, the game is about environmentalism and choices, how our choices affect the world and what we do. I purposely chose the terrible ending. It's because it gives more of an impact than, the good ending or the other side of the scale ending, which is basically the complete opposite. Seeing as I've made this game and based it around choice, I can only think about my main influence for the idea of choices in games. I think back to a particular moment in a particular game, and a quote that follows suit. character Andrew Ryan in the game BioShock once said, "We all make choices, but in the end, our choices make us." Thank you.